Hello, my name is Mayumi again, and I'm going to share to you what I have understand in Chapter 2, which is the new insights into early learning and development. In this Chapter 2, there's 4 insights that I will going to share. So I will going to share first the insight 1. The insight 1 is infants and toddlers learn and develop in the context of important relationships. And nurturing with at least one loving, responsive adult is essential for a child to develop trust and a healthy sense of self. Within the child's first relationships, he learns about himself, establishes a base to explore the world, and discovers how to engage adults to meet his needs. When an infant feels safe, infant focus attention on exploring and learning about the world. Infants and toddlers also learn by developing relationships with one another. In the early years, infants learn by observing and imitating other children. As they grow, they engage in similar play while imitating each other. By the time they are older infants, they play together. In their early relationships, they learn how it feels to be in a conflict, to resolve conflicts with other children, as well as to comfort another children. One of the most important developments in the first 3 years of life is that infants and toddlers begin to learn to self-regulate. In the other words, they are gaining control over their physical and emotional responses. The ability to regulate socially develops hand in hand with the ability to maintain attention in various situations. The child's daily experiences with an adult who pays attention to him strengthen his developing capacity to be attentive. From these experiences, the child expands his inborn capacity to engage in focused exploration of the world of people and things. Now, the insight 2, it is that infants and toddlers are competent. Infants and toddlers come into the world ready to love and eager to form social ties. They are born looking for us. Babies begin exploring the world and the people around them from the moment they are born. Infants and toddlers are active, motivated learners who have their own curriculum. They are curious in all of the things they see in their surroundings. They are eager to know and learn. Infants and toddlers move almost all the time. In this stage, they still study their hands and watch intently as they begin to find ways to use them to grasp and stroke people or things within their reach. Infants relish the struggle of reaching, stretching, rolling, and even lifting their bodies. For all young children, including those who have differences or delays in their movement skills, learning happens when they are moving. Some of the children move with high energy, while others will observe first before they start moving slowly. No matter what their styles of moving, like they crawl, climb, and fall, as long as they make new discoveries about the world around them and the capabilities of their bodies. When babies hear language well before birth, soon after birth, they recognize the voices of family members and other family or adults. Young infants engage in give and take communication with adults, communicate verbally and even non-verbally with them, and give them time to respond. It could be sounds, facial expressions, and even gestures. Adults who sing, talk, ask questions, listen, and label things when interacting with young children directly affects the children's brains develop. Sometimes, children learn one language at home and another in the infant or toddler program. When children learn 2 languages, may mix them up. But if both languages are respected, understand, and speak both languages, Hearing a few words of the home language spoken not only support learning, it also offers the comfort of familiar sounds in a new place. Continuing to learn the home language strengthens the child's developing sense of self. In Insights 3, it is the infants and toddlers are vulnerable. We all know that infants depend on the adult's protection. Young children orient to adults not only for protection but also to learn how to be a competent participant in their family. The challenge for adults is to protect and nurture infants while being respectful of their developing competence. During the first impressions of the world, they are finding out how they feel in different situations and how others make them feel. The ways in which adults relate to them has a profound influence on their developing sense of security and their self-confidence. The idea that infants are both competent and vulnerable reflects the view that both nature and nurture contribute to the development. Most scientists believe that the long-standing nature versus nurture debate is no longer relevant. Young children's development reflects not only in genetic potential and capacities they are born with, but also the experiences they have. Development hinges on the interaction between nature and nurture. The tender appearance of young infants draws a protective response in most adults. The infant's smiles and coos bring out warm responses and feelings of joy to us. To be responsive, we adults should rely on cues from infants to find out how best to respond to them. Adults come to understand when children are hungry, tired, ill, uncomfortable, or just fussy. Infants quickly learn to communicate to lessen their vulnerability. For example, infants learn that if they make a certain sound or movement, adults will come to give them attention. Later, infants are able to go to adults. As infants and adults develop relationships, both of them create ways to ensure the infant's safety and well-being. One key to security for infants is being nurtured daily by a few people in predictable and consistent ways. A young infant feels confident when he recognizes the face and voice of the infant care teacher who greets him in the morning. The adult also gets to know the infant's subtitle, cues, and unique ways of communicating. Children who form secure attachments with adults over time, both at home and in an infant or toddler program, explore their world confidently and become increasingly competent in social situations. Secure relationships with childcare provides support healthy social and emotional development. Benefits can be seen in other areas as well, including communication skills, intellectual development, and moral development. Infants and toddler immune systems have not fully developed. They are more susceptible than older children to infectious disease. Despite the improvements in recommended healthcare practices, many children in infant or toddler settings are exposed to serious illness in the early years. Because infants and toddlers constantly explore the environment and take risks to test their developing large motor abilities, accidental injury present a danger to them. Today, more safety information is available about accidental injury than ever before. When family members are experiencing high level of stress, programs can help them obtain services and resources. The help that family receives can reduce stress and lessen the likelihood of child neglect or abuse. In addition, program policies that support close relationships between a teacher to know individual children well and to readily identify signs of risk. The last insight, it is the Insight 4, which is the infants and toddlers are a unique blend of nature and nurture. Each child is born with his own unique biological inheritance, learning style, abilities, rate of development, and ways of relating to others. The child's uniqueness reflects his experiences in relationships, genetic predisposition, and cultural experiences. Whether a child has a physical disability, sensory impairment, or other special need also contributes to his uniqueness. Temperament refers to a child's individual way of learning, approaching, and responding to the world. It has been compared to a personal pair of mental or colored glasses through which a child views and responds to the world. Although temperament is inborn, children who are nurtured by understanding and accepting adults are able to go beyond responses typical of their temperament. Researchers Thomas and Chess in 1977 have identified 9 temperaments, and these are how active the child is, how regular she is in her eating and sleep patterns, how adaptable she is, how positive her mood tends to be with, or how she approaches new situations readily or is slow to warm up to them, how sensitive she is to stimulation, how intensely she reacts to stimulation, how persistent, and how destructible she tends to be. Both family, culture, and language contribute to a child's learning and development in many ways. Children may solve problems by working with others or by working alone. When learning language, they learn cultural rules, when to listen and speak, how to show respect, and which words are appropriate and which ones are inappropriate. Some setting may be familiar to a child, for it may be unfamiliar or even frightening. For example, if a child is from a family that talks loudly and loves music and dancing, she may feel surprised and unsure in a setting where the teacher speaks in quiet tones and dancing is not encouraged. These 4 insights talk about what the early childhood profession already knows from years of practice. Through responsive care that we give to them, it can establish secure relationships with infants and toddlers. Being responsive also means getting to know each child as the unique person she is. Also, finding the approach that best facilitates each child's unique path of learning and development.